Okay, so we're reviewing for your quizzes on Thursday. This is CBQ 4.2. Again, I'm going to do this very briefly. I'm going to show you, guide you how to do, remind you how to do everything by hand. But again, I'm going to show you the calculator tricks and get you started. Okay, so for number one, this diagram shows the floor plan of a storage facility. All dimensions are given in feet. So there's this rectangle, right? Which expression represents the area of the storage facility in square feet? Well, first of all, you need to know what area is, okay? Does anyone know? Y'all should know. Area is length times width. Okay, do we know the length? Yep, that's this long part right here. And do we know the width? Yes, so we know both of them. So area is length times width. So what am I going to do between both of them? I'm going to multiply. So I would multiply 4x plus 3 times my width, which is 2x plus 2. All right, do we remember how to multiply? So if you're doing this by hand and you remember we're multiplying, we do this by hand. How do we do it? There's two terms being multiplied to two terms. Remember, we multiply that in a box. Okay, so you'll take your first group of terms, you'll put 4x plus 3 on this side, and then 2x plus 2, we'll put that up here. Okay, so if you're multiplying, remember you'd multiply inside the box. So for example, I'm not going to do all of it. This one, 4x times 2x, would give us 4 times 2 is 8, and x times x is x squared. Okay, so you'd go in, fill all the blanks, and then do not forget that the box reminds us to do what between these two terms. So once you get it, it's going to remind you to add them, right? So then you'll look at your answer choice to see. If you're not doing it by hand and you're like, no, I'd rather do the calculator, that's fine too. But you still need to know that we're multiplying this and this, right? And I'm only going to have one answer. So only one of these is correct. So I'll know it's correct because it'll look the same, right? So we can just plug this into Desmos, right? So I'll plug this in. And I forgot to clear this out from earlier. Oops. Okay, so I would plug in what I'm multiplying, my area, my length times my width. So that's 4x plus 3 times 2x plus 2. Okay, so if you see, it gave me a graph, so I see what it looks like. Okay, and then you'd want to try your answer choices, right? Only one of them's the same, so that means they're going to have to look alike. So for example, let's try B, right? 8x squared minus 4x minus 6. So I try 8x squared minus 4x minus 6, okay? Did those give me the same graph? No. So is that the right answer? When I multiply the length and the width, is it going to give me this? No, it's not going to equal that. They're not going to be the same. So B would not be correct. So you can go on ahead and try A, C, or D, whatever you want, to go on ahead and find the right answer. Same thing, let's look at number 2. So which expression is equivalent to, and then they give you this following expression, right? So what do we notice happening? Right here I got 3 terms, and what's happening between these two sets of parentheses? Again, it's being multiplied, okay? You guys need to recognize that. So those of you doing it by hand, you need to know how many terms you're multiplying to how many terms. So here, I got 3 terms and 2 terms. So how big is my box? You make a 3, right, by 2 box. Okay, so your 2 terms would be on this side. So here I got negative 5x minus 2. And if you have your 3 terms, those go at the top. So I got 2x squared here, plus 4x here, and then the last term is negative 3, okay? So again, the box tells you where to multiply. So I'll again set you up. Like for example, in this box, we got negative 5x and 2x squared. So first, negative 5 and 2 is negative 10. And then you got an x here, 2 more here, so that's x cubed, right? You got 3 x's. So let's just do, I guess I'll do one more. Negative 5x and 4x, that's negative 20x, okay? So then you would go on ahead and complete the box, right? The box tells you what to multiply each time. So once you finish the box, if you're doing this by hand, do not forget, the box reminds you to do what to the diagonals, except this time, how many do you have? You have 2 of them, so you're going to have to add up these and these, okay? So that's if you're doing it by hand. For those of you not doing it by hand, you already know this can be done in the calculator, because we know when something is equal, they're equivalent, they're equal, they're going to look the same, just like number 1. So we could have put this in. So you would have put in your expression in Desmos. Okay, so you got your expression 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. Close parentheses, another one, negative 5x minus 2. Close it. Okay, so notice it gave me this weird looking graph, but that's okay, right? That's what it graphed, that's what it looked like. So for example, let's try one of them. Let's look at A, right? We can try answer choice A and see if it's equal, right? The same. So try it. Negative 10x, the A to the B right here is how you put a different exponent, cubed. Bring it back down, minus 16x squared plus 7x plus 6. All right, so this one, they kind of made the same funky shape, but didn't match. No. So are they equal? Are they the same? No. So that would be how you do it. It is not A, so I'll leave you to figure out the rest of them. Number 3, here we go again. Which expression is equivalent, right? So again, we're looking for something that's the same, right? Because this means equal, okay? So they gave us this whole expression. Now, if you notice, all we're doing is, yeah, I see some parentheses, right? I see something that could be distributed, and then I see a bunch of pluses and minuses. So again, all this would be, if you're doing it by hand, is first you distribute and then take care of your adding and subtracting. And remember, when you're adding and subtracting, all you can do is combine like terms. So if you're doing this by hand, the first thing you do is distribute. Sorry, I'm a little all over the place. And then the second thing you would do is be combined like terms. So that's by hand, right? For those of you who are like, nope, not happening, because I know this is going to be equal, meaning the same, you're like, I'm going to put this expression in the calculator. Now notice there's one variable, right? When there's the one variable, we do not use that variable. What variable do we use, right? We don't use Q. Make sure you put an X. So I'll do 5x squared minus 1 over 3, then put parentheses, 6x minus 4 plus 2x squared. Beautiful, gave me a nice little graph. So try your answer choices. So the first one I'm going to try is I'll try A, okay? But again, I'm not going to put a Q. I'll put X. So A is 7x squared minus 5 over 3x minus 2. All right, did that give me a matching graph? Nope, not even close. So are they the same? Nope, so it's not A. So you try the rest of them, see which one is equal. Here we go again, number 4. I'm not going to do this one again. Again, it's equivalent, meaning equal. Okay, so again, I see that I got some parentheses, meaning if you're doing it by hand, right, you can distribute to everybody inside. So the first thing you would do would be distribute. And then I see a bunch of pluses and minuses, so then you would combine like terms, because that's the only way to add or subtract. Okay, so that's by hand. And again, the calculator, if you're doing it, all you got to do is look to see if they're equal. So plug this into Desmos. There's one variable, so again, we don't use M. What variable do we use? Make sure you use an X, okay? So, for example, when you're typing in Desmos, if you're trying answer choice A, make sure you're typing in 2x squared plus 11x minus 6, okay? So again, all you're doing is looking to see which one is the same, okay? And you don't need me to do that one. Number 5 is also the same. You're looking for something that's equal, right? So again, the same. This is like the third problem. Again, for those doing it by hand, would distribute, right? And then combine, okay? Same thing. But for those of you doing the calculator, I do need to show you the little trick, okay? So I noticed that there are 2 variables, okay? So because there are the 2 variables in this expression, I can go on ahead and use it as is, okay? So I can type it in exactly the way I see it. I don't need to use X or Y, I can type it in. Okay, so because there's the 2 variables. So here I can put 4, and I can use the letter C, parentheses, 1 over 4, oops, D minus 9, close it out, minus 8, parentheses, C minus 1, parentheses, plus C plus 6, sorry. Okay, so notice I typed it in as is. Because we use a different letter, notice it didn't graph anything, okay? However, we can still find if something's equal, so all we gotta do is add sliders, okay? So let's just make sure that we change our sliders, okay? It doesn't matter what you change it to. Let's just take it off of 1, right? And then just make sure they're different. It doesn't matter, okay? So I'll do 1 and 3 and 6, doesn't matter. Okay, notice it gave me an answer. It gave me negative 52. So that means one of my answer choices, if they're equal, if they're the same, it also has to give me what number? Negative 52. So that's where you check your answer choices. So for example, I'll do A, 2CD minus 34C plus 4D. So I'll type all that in. Okay, 2CD minus 34C plus 4D minus 8. So notice I put all that in. Did it give me negative 52? No. So do they match? No. So are they equal? No. So it's not A. So again, go on ahead and try B, C, or D. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do for this video. And then I'll come in and try to finish up the rest on the other one.